everybody? It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Now, sports is too many NBA teams. We do that when it gets to the playoffs. But in Thursday night football, the Minnesota Vikings take on the Rams at 8:15. Now, good morning, Morgan.
Good morning, NB, Charlamagne, and Lauren. How y'all feeling?
Good, morning, great. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Okay, so Election Day is on with November 5th. 12 days away, and on top of the front page news, it's you making sure you exercise your right to vote. With that said, in a recent interview with the New York Times, former President Trump's White House Chief of Staff, John Kelly, said Trump commented more than once that Hitler did, quote, some good things too. He went on to say that Trump meets the general definition of a fascist. Kelly also called Trump an authoritarian and admires people who are dictators. Now, Vice President Harris says former President Trump's alleged comments about Adolf Hitler are a window into who he is. Let's hear more from VP Harris.
It is deeply troubling and incredibly dangerous that Donald Trump would invoke Adolf Hitler, the man who is responsible for the deaths of 6 million Jews and hundreds of thousands of Americans. Anyone who refuses to bend a knee or dares to criticize him would qualify, in his mind, as the enemy within. In just the past week, Donald Trump has repeatedly called his fellow Americans the enemy from within, and even said that he would use the United States military to go after American citizens.
I can't even believe we're having any more conversations about who should be elected on November 5th.
I mean, he's been saying that for the longest, though. You know what I mean? And people are not recognizing it's crazy.
Yeah, but like she said last night, she thinks a lot of people don't hear it, and I believe that as well. Like you got a guy straight up parroting Hitler's talking points, like parroting Hitler's moves. The dude is even doing a freaking rally at Madison Square Garden like the Nazis did in the 30s. What are we talking about, America?
So a Trump campaign spokesperson responded to Kelly's comments saying that he totally beclowned himself by telling debunked stories about the Trump administration. Switching gears, former President Trump, he recently spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Ironically, he made the comments while speaking at a town hall event in Zebulon, Georgia, saying the two have a very good relationship. Let's hear from former President Trump.
You wouldn't have had inflation. You wouldn't have had Russia attacking Ukraine. You wouldn't have had October 7th, which was Israel. And the horrible, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country was Afghanistan. The way, not that they pulled out, we were ready to pull, the way they pulled out it was so bad. They moved the military out first. No, you moved the military out last. I think it was one of the most embarrassing. I think that's why actually Putin went into Ukraine. But we're going to take care of Israel, and they know that. Bibi called me yesterday, called me the day before. We have a very good relationship. And I have to say fortunately, they didn't listen to Biden, because if they listened to Biden, they'd right now be waiting for a bomb to drop on them.
Bibi is Benjamin Netanyahu. That's crazy that he has a nickname.
Bibi is crazy.
I thought everybody called him Bibi. That's not just Trump.
Okay, well, if this is true, Trump negotiating deals with other foreign leaders, he could be in violation of the Logan Act, which prohibits private U.S. citizens from having directly or indirectly any unauthorized correspondence or intercourse with any foreign government in relation to disputes or controversies with the United States. So if he just calling BB up to be like, hey, what's up? That's cool. But if he's talking about, these deals, which we know Trump likes to talk about deals, then that is against the law. The Republican presidential nominee, he slammed the Biden-Harris administration in those. He also talked about being closer to World War III. He also criticized FEMA for its hurricane response to Hurricane Helene, saying the agency and the White House did not do their job. Of course, he is This is so crazy. The former president, he's also supposed to rally he held a rally, in Duluth, Georgia, saying there won't be a country left if Kamala Harris is elected president. He went on to say so many other things. He even praised Elon Musk for thanking him and endorsing him and the millions he's donated to the campaign. Trump also promised to terminate any electric vehicle mandates and said he will immediately begin fracking on day one of his administration. I'm not sure if that would actually hurt Musk and Tesla doesn't really make much sense. But speaking of Musk, he is being warned by the Justice Department that his $1 million giveaway, his lottery for registered voters, may be illegal. That's according to CNN, which cited people briefed on the matter. Musk announced over the weekend that his political action committee would award $1 million to every day to a registered voter in swing states who signs a petition. Now, people saying paying people to register to vote is prohibited by federal law. According to CNN, the political action committee received a letter from the DOJ's Public Integrity Section, which oversees the investigation and prosecution of all federal crimes affecting government integrity. Now, Musk has, of course, endorsed former President Trump in the election, and he has appeared at rallies in support of him, and it's really giving oligarchy vibes at this point, but nobody asked me about that, so I'm not going to get too much into that.
All right. Well, thank you, Morgan. We'll see you next hour.
Yeah, there's more front page news. Stick around at 7 a.m.
Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. Call us up right now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. And let's get in some front page news. Now, in Thursday Night Football, the Vikings take on the Rams at 8:15. Now, what we got, Morgan?
Listen, what we got is at the top of the front page news is you making sure you get out there to vote. With that said, Vice President Harris is discussing a wide variety of topics. She did so at her CNN town hall hosted by Anderson Cooper. She started off by talking about how she believes Donald Trump is a fascist, and she questioned his ability to lead the country. She also answered questions about the border, saying the American immigration system is broken, and she's the right candidate to bring real solutions. Let's hear more from Harris on CNN.
America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on this? Let's just fix the problem.
Yeah, Harris went on to say, go ahead.
No, I was going to say both parties want border security. The problem is both parties have politicized, the border. And that's the problem. Like, so now that both of them have politicized it so much, it's hard for them to come together and do something to actually fix it because somebody has to get the credit for it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, they don't ever take bipartisan credit for things. It's whoever's in office is going to get the credit. But everybody wants border security.
I know that this town hall was for the undecideds, right?
I don't know what this town hall was for.
Yeah, I think it was. I saw people dragging Dana Bash from CNN this morning because she said that sources were telling her that Kamala missed the mark with this town hall.
I saw that was her first. Soon as the town hall was over, they went to the panel, and that's the first thing she said. And I thought she was way off base with that when she said that.
Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Well, Harris went on to say that she believes there is an opportunity to end the war in Gaza and, of course, working towards a two-state solution. Meanwhile, former President Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, he was in the swing state of Nevada yesterday talking about the GOP plan to increase home ownership for Americans. Let's hear from Vance in Nevada.
Here's the crazy thing is my generation. I'm speaking particularly to folks in my generation and a little bit younger. Donald Trump and I, if you work hard and play by the rules, we're going to fight for your ability to afford the American dream of homeownership. We have got so many acres of federal land that are being totally unused, but we could build houses on that federal land and make it more affordable for American citizens to afford a good life.
Anybody that starts off a conversation saying Donald Trump plays by the rules, I can't even listen to you. Donald Trump does not play by the rules.
So, I'm from the DMV in close proximity to a lot of federal land, right? And I was kind of wondering what kind of regulations would be in place for someone who purchased a home on federal land or from the federal government. So, of course, like you, Charlamagne, I chat GPT'd it. And so basically what it came back to say was generally you cannot build a house on federal land without specific permission from the government. And as most federal lands are not zoned for residential development. However, in certain situations, though, like the land sale or a lease program, which y'all know what that sounds like, right? A government agency might be able to build on federal land, particularly if it's to address housing shortages, which there's no housing shortage in America. There's a shortage of people who are able to afford, or there's no housing shortage, but people need to be able to afford the houses that exist. And with proper regulations in place, a recent example is the Houses Act, which aims to utilize federal land for housing development. Now, Politico reported earlier this year that federal lots of land are mostly located in the West in areas where there's no roads or sewers, let alone a need for housing. That article came out August 9th of 2024. So, Envy, since you're the real estate guy, does buying real estate on federal land seem like a good idea? Yes or no?
Well, federal land is usually like national forests. It's usually national parks. It's usually wildlife situations and things like that. So, like you said, it's usually where there is no roads or anything like that. It's usually forests and things like that. Now, the federal government does have lands that they repossess that they use for a lot of the things that they have that they can, give to people and give to people for great prices. But when they talk about the huge land and federal land that they own, is usually for grasslands, forests, wildlife conservation, and things like that.
Right. Or, monuments and things like that. In the DMV area, that's what we see. So I'm not sure that that's a viable idea, but I'm not going to get too much into that. In New York, I'm going to bring it home to you. A ticker tape parade will be held today for the New York Liberty in honor of their first ever WNBA championship win. New York City Mayor Eric Adams applauded the team and shared more details on the parade that's headed down the Canyon of Heroes in Lower Manhattan. Let's hear from New York Mayor Eric Adams on the parade today.
We are excited. Congratulations, New York Liberty, for winning your first WNBA title. You made us proud, and we're going to make you proud. We're going to give you a ticker tape parade, 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. And then after that, we're going to have an amazing ceremony right here at City Hall to say thank you to our heroes. Congratulations, New York Liberty WNBA champions.
Well, congratulations. I need everybody to go out there and support. Even if you work in that area, if you could come down about 10, 11 a.m. at lunch or whatever and go out there and support those women and make them feel special. I went to one ticker tape parade, which was actually
it's called a
ticker tape.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned about that too, Lauren. It's like all the confetti.
All the confetti they throw out the windows and things like that.
Okay, I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, I went to one, which was actually 16 years ago when I signed my deal with Power 105.1. The day I went to sign the deal, the Yankees had actually won, and I was walking through the parade to get to the old Power building to sign my contract. That was the only one I ever went to. But definitely go out there and support those ladies and those women.
There will also be another ceremony at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. That's where, of course, the women's basketball team beat the Minnesota Lynx in overtime in Game 5 on Sunday, clinching their first WNBA title. City Hall and other buildings will also be lit up in that seafoam green tonight to honor the Liberty. Somebody hold Ellie's purse, okay? I just want to see what Ellie going to do because
Ellie going to show out at the
Let me tell you, Ellie has been main character energy all season. I absolutely love it. Well, that's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit BINnews.com. Talk to y'all tomorrow.
Thank you, Morgan. All right. Now, when we come back, we have David and Tamela Mann joining us this morning. Tamela has a new album, Live, Breathe, and Fight. And we're going to talk to them next. So don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.